Hey, welcome back to Biz Talk TV. I'm your host and guide, Michael Rager, here on the Now Media television networks. All right, we got Kristin Gunderson. We're going to talk about some important things. Numbers. Kristin, how you doing today?
Great. Thank you so much for having me on the show today, Michael.
Oh, of course. So, all right, today we want to talk about how do we figure out what numbers do we need to be tracking to make our goals a reality? What's the most important
Well,
ones?
it kind of starts with, let's figure out where you want your goals to be. Like, what type of goals do you have? And they can be personal goals, they can be business goals. And then what I do is I really kind of sit down and I analyze the financials for the business and figure out where they've been, what they're used to be doing. And then I plug in where they want their goals. They may want to be able to, I've had some clients who want to start investing in rental properties and they need a 20% down payment. So I find out what that down payment is that they need. Um, they could want to have some cosmetic surgery done. They could want to buy a rental home or like a vacation home that they want to rent out later, or they may want to expand their business into a new location. So I find out how much that is to get going. And then I use my tools that I have and my analytical skills, and I plug in what needs to happen and then what other numbers need to happen. Like, how much more do we need to have in sales? Do we need to start marketing more and advertising to get some more leads in that will generate more sales? Or do we need to maybe go up on the price a little bit? Do we need to look where we can start cutting costs elsewhere?
So when we're trying to look at the difference between personal goals and business goals, last time we talked a little bit about profit first. Now, does this kind of meld into the profit first, stuff that you do and just takes it to the next step?
Yes, it certainly can. Profit First is a tool that I use, and it's very, very helpful. Like, sometimes my clients, they just spend everything that they have in their bank account. They may be making good money and they're living a really great lifestyle because of it. But then when taxes come around, they don't have any money for taxes saved up because they literally spend it all. So what what I use with the Profit First program is I literally put the taxes and save the taxes and put that aside into a savings account that they can't see. But when the taxes are due, it's there to go ahead and pay it. For instance, I had one client when we first got started with this, is he owed $14,000 in taxes, and this was several years in a row, and he spent the entire year paying off his taxes. But I couldn't get him to put money aside for quarterly estimated taxes for he wouldn't owe in the future. I got him on Profit First, and not only were we able to pay off that $14,000 for that prior tax year, we were also able to keep on saving for the taxes for the current year and paying the estimated quarterly taxes for him. And he ended up getting like a refund of like $100 or something, which is right where you want to be. You don't want to be paying extra money into the IRS, but you don't want to owe more than $1,000 either, because then you have to pay interest and penalties to the IRS when your taxes are due.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about getting a little bit bigger in our business. Okay, businesses start to grow, and okay, we've got you helping us on the bookkeeping side. But there's a time when a business has to start looking at a CFO, and there's a fractional CFO option. When should businesses start looking at that, and what's the benefit of having a fractional CFO versus somebody just functioning as a bookkeeper?
Yeah, that's a great question. When a business is about a very minimum 250,000 in revenue, more like 500,000 in revenue, that's when they should really start looking at getting a CFO, a fractional CFO. And it doesn't mean that you aren't getting someone like you would be able to, like if you were Walmart. Like, basically a fractional CFO means that you get them for a fraction of the price because they're working on other accounts too. So you're getting the same expertise and everything that a real like a big business would get, not a real business, but like a big business would get. You're just getting them at a fraction of the price for the small businesses, because you can't afford a big CFO. Like they cost like $150,000-$250,000 a year in annual salary. So you're getting them for a fraction of the price. But for instance, I had a client that I met with yesterday, and they've been doing really, really great. Like, you know how we talk about if you have a 10% net profit, you're doing good. Like that's kind of unusual for small businesses. Like that's something that you should strive for. And this company came to me and they had like a 33% net profit. They're doing amazing. However, they're not paying themselves either. Like they're paying themselves very, very little. And we broke it down for them. I'm like, okay, like how much are you making an hour? And they're like 16.50 an hour. And I'm like, okay, how much do your employees make? And they were like, oh, about 25 or $30 an hour. And I'm like, how much would it cost if you were not to be working in the business, but for you to hire someone to replace you in the business? And he's like, about $40 an hour. And I'm just like, then why aren't you paying yourself $40 an hour? You have a 33% net profit. You guys aren't living high on the hog, you know, by any means. Like, even if you do pay yourself what you would pay someone else to come in and take your job, I literally calculated your net income would still be like 21%. Like you can afford to pay yourself more. And hence, now you can afford to buy that land that you want to out in the country, or you can afford to maybe buy this land that you want to develop for your company and split it off. Like we have options now. And those are the types of things that I talk about with my clients. I figure out what their goals are, where their money is, where it's going. And then we break it down into doable action steps each month of what do we need to do next.
Awesome. So I want to go a little bit deeper into CFO. What will a CFO start doing for a business versus, you know, an accountant or bookkeeper? What is a CFO going to look at?
Well, a bookkeeper, an accountant, or CPA, they are all doing compliance work. They're doing stuff that makes the IRS happy to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing as a business owner. The CFO, and it's all past work. Everything's in the past. They're reporting on numbers in the past. What a CFO does is, yes, they need to know those numbers. They come in and they analyze them, but they are forward looking. They are futuristic. They want to know exactly what your mission statement is. They want to know what your goals are, your personal and your business, because the reason why you're in business is because you have personal goals like that you want to meet. You either want to have more free time. I talk to people all the time and like, I don't want to be in the business doing the day-to-day stuff anymore. I just kind of want to be overseeing it. And that's perfect. That's what the CEO of the business needs to be doing. And I take that vision that they have and all their goals and everything, and by using the numbers and analyzing it, I make it a reality and I tell them what they need to do. By analyzing the numbers and looking into the future of what needs to happen in order to make their dreams a reality.
So, no, I love it, you know, because I've got clients right now that they've gone to $2, $3, $4 million, and they're not even sure how they got there. And you know, they're in construction, they've got some student, and that's where they've hired me, and we kind of working with the people that they have on staff so far. But you know, one of the guys I mentioned is saying, hey, you gotta look at a fractional CFO. You've got to bring somebody on. They're in a construction business, and it's like, you know, how do we leverage? They pour concrete. They do a lot of concrete work. So it's how do we leverage concrete pricing? How do we look at metal pricing and stuff for rebar? You know, there's so many different things as a business owners. We don't realize that we can go project, right? We don't have to always look backward. We need to look forward.
Exactly. And the big businesses, remember, 99.9% of all businesses in America are small businesses. But the big businesses like the Walmarts and the CSVs and, you know, all the big businesses, UPS, like they all have a CFO working for them because they need it. They need to be able to look into the future. So small businesses deserve to have that same level of expertise working with them also.
Yeah, if we continue to look in the past, it's never going to get us anywhere. You know, and it's great having somebody that can understand exactly our vision. Where do we want to go? Why do we want to go there? And how do we want to go there? But a CFO can understand some financial tools that we can utilize to help us get there. And I think that's the important thing, and that's the skill set you bring, right?
Yeah, most small business owners, they're really, really great at what they do, and they're probably not great at numbers. Not everyone is great at numbers, and that's okay. That's why you need someone like a CFO to come in to be able to help you.
Yeah, exactly. So if people are looking to get help from you, Kristin, how do they get a hold of you and where do they find you?
The best way is to go ahead and get your cell phone out and text the word WIN, WIN, to 855-798-3350. That will take you to a text message where you can fill out a form and I will give you a call, or you can just find me on social media. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram at Gunderson's Bookkeeping.
All right, so where are you going to find you out in public? Because I know you're out there. I see you all the time. Where are people here in Houston area going to find you in public?
So the next event, we're going to be meeting on Wednesdays, the third Wednesday of the month and the first Wednesday of the month. One's in the morning, one's in the evening. The best thing to do is to find our group on Facebook. It's called Waller County Networking.
Awesome, awesome. So get out there and go see Kristin, go meet her face to face, shake her hand, and go learn from her. And if you're really smart, you'll probably go hire her, and that's the right thing that's going to happen, right, Kristin?
Yes, thanks, Michael.
All right, well, you have a great day. We're going to be back in just a minute. I'm Michael Rager, your business guide and host here on Biz Talk TV, here on the Now Media Television Network.